Disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct.
What's up, guys? This is Kali the One, and this is Disorderly Conduct. Today we have a special episode. I'm here with the girlies. Got the girlies today. You guys want to introduce yourself?
I'm Mo.
You got Mo.
Loni.
SummerHoney.
And exactly. So everybody clap it up. I'm glad you guys are here.
Yay.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, the purpose of today's conversation. Actually, before I get into that, if you guys are watching this, please like, subscribe. Thank you for the love, for the hate. It's all support. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Again, thank you guys for coming. I wanted to do this episode today because I feel like there's a lot of, damaging conversation going on between men and women on social media, obviously driving a little bit of a divide apart or divide between us. And so I want to have a little healthy conversation. Might get a little crazy, you never know, but that's the purpose of this conversation. So without further ado, I want to get into the first topic. And it is, do you guys think people care more about pleasing their socials more than their partner? So does social media matter more than what their partner thinks or even their relationship?
I do.
It can, yeah.
Yeah?
I think, I don't want to say especially for women, but I think men think that women will post pictures or whatever for other people instead of oh, why can't you just, for me? But I don't know. I think it has some truth to it,
when
I guess.
When it comes to posting the pictures, because I've seen this a bunch of times, right? Dudes, you guys know it's the back and forth. Are you guys doing it for the dudes? Are you guys doing it for yourself? I feel like it's a mix of both, honestly. So what do you guys think? Because I think it's a mix of both.
Honestly, it's the shit on these bitches. Stop playing.
Okay.
I don't think it's... I think it's just for ourselves. To me, at least.
It depends on the
for
person.
Myself.
Depends on the person.
And it depends on the person's relationship to their significant other. Because some people, it'll be for both, for them. Yeah. Rather than just themselves. They want people to see them. If their relationship is rocky.
To some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, would you guys say that the likes, the comments, the messages, the inbox going up, you feel me? Does that have something to do with it? Does it make you feel good, taken or not taken, if you post a nice picture and now you got dudes liking it, maybe some dudes sliding the DMs, liking the story?
For sure, yeah.
Honest answer. If you're not looking at it okay, I like him, I'm with this guy, but oh shoot, oh boy slided up on it. It makes you feel some type of way. Because I've seen somebody, I don't know if you guys know who Steph Curry is, he's a basketball player. His wife, Ayesha Curry, was talking about how she wanted to feel like she still had it. Yeah. Even though she's been married with kids, she's I want, dudes to still check for me. So to me, I know he probably didn't like that, but I guess I could see how when you are in a relationship a little bit, you still want the validation from others to a certain degree.
I think you don't.
If it's harmless.
I think you don't start wanting that validation from others until it's lacking in your relationship. Because
a lot of people in relationships, the women, they don't really get compliments from their partners.
Not after a while.
Not after a while. After a certain point, they're okay, it's whatever. They got you, so they don't have to try for you anymore.
It is what it is. It doesn't really matter.
Which is ridiculous.
You guys, we get caught up in the day-to-day grind and shit, and I think you definitely forget to, tap in with those compliments for sure. Do you guys think that men are wrong for feeling some type of way about the pictures that you guys post online? What you guys think? You guys think it's some
I think
some
people are going
shit?
to feel how they feel no matter what. So I don't necessarily think it's a problem, but I think making it such a big deal in your relationship to where it starts to it tears people apart.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it does depend on the pictures and there's a lot that goes into it because if you get to look in and you're oh well, this person liked it or this person liked it, and
it just makes you feel some type of way.
Yeah, and if those people have history with the people that are liking those photos, then it's a problem. Obviously, depending on the photo, I guess.
What you guys think? You guys think it's insecure? Like, say if my girl posts a picture, dudes are liking it, and I say something about it.
Yes and no.
Like,
and like she said, it depends on the kind of picture that's being posted. Because if it's just like a selfie and dudes are liking it, I don't really see there shouldn't be a problem with it. But if you're on Instagram posting like pictures in your bathing suit while you're in a relationship and dudes are liking it, then I could understand. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing that because men love to like those pictures on Instagram, and it's like, okay, now it's a problem that I'm doing it, but
that's what's on your whole explore page, like. Right? Yeah.
So,
okay, I understand that, and I've heard that a lot, and like I can completely understand how. You know, but it's weird, right? Because it's like when you're a dude, and this might sound crazy, but when you're single and you're looking at a girl and she's posting what she's posting, like, and it might be revealing, and you're double tapping on it, and then you get with her, you start to, I guess you get more territorial. That's really just what it comes down to, where it's like, yeah, I understand that's what you were doing at first, but now I want you to tone it down a little bit.
It's like respect.
Because of it. And I feel like there shouldn't really be anything, me as a dude, like, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. I'm not telling you to change yourself, and I think that's where the problem comes. It's like, me asking for you to tone it down a little bit is like, it becomes this like battle of, you're not going to tell me what to do. Instead of more so being like, I could see where now that we are together, I kind of represent you. Let me tone it down a little bit. So I feel like that's where the battle comes in. And I don't really understand why women have a problem with that particular thing. Like, I'm not trying to control your whole life by saying, yo, tone it down a little bit. It's just like, now that we're together, you get what I'm saying? Again, now that we're together, you know what I mean? You might follow the homies. You might follow my family. Like, you gotta pipe down a little bit, because now it's looking crazy out here.
I understand that part, because like I said, it's like a respect thing. If you're with somebody and they're asking you to tone it down a little bit, you should have that respect for your partner to do
tone
so.
it down.
I seen what's her name? Light skinned rapper Lotto. She has some Fenty photos, and she sent them to her boyfriend before, and she was like, "Do you think this is doing too much?" People were in the comments like, "Girl, like, you know, I'm never gonna send my pictures to a man before and get his approval," which I kind of think is a little crazy.
I'm not doing that.
Like, I think, come on now, like, if you're that type of dude who, like, you need to send me every picture before to approve it,
that's crazy.
You're super insecure.
Yeah.
The picture she sent wasn't even crazy either.
I didn't even see it, to be honest.
Like, if I'm correct.
You said her butt crack was out?
Like a little bit. She was like pulling it or something, right?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see it.
I think today too, like, so take it back to like 10 years ago, 2015, something like that. I think the things that women posted weren't even as revealing as it is now. I think honestly, men don't get enough credit for what, I don't want to say allow, because, you know, everybody's their own person or whatever, but I think we don't get enough credit for what we don't trip about anymore. I feel like 10 years ago, some of the pictures posted now, niggas would really trip back then. Now it's like girls have to really do the most for dudes to be like, okay, tone it down. Like, a girl could come on with a see-through shirt, whatever, and it's not really, you see that on the gram, you scroll, see that all day. That's not that big of a deal at this point. But there is a limit. So I think dudes don't get enough credit for it. But I also think that in today's generation, pleasing social media more than your partner is like, to me, that's the thing to do. Like, I feel like people don't want to sacrifice the likes. They don't want to sacrifice the engagement over their relationship, when in reality, the relationship matters more than what's on social media.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's really just validation. That's what I think it comes down to for people. Like, they just want to feel, I don't know, like, you post a picture and you get all these likes, you're like, hey, I'm popping, you know? Yeah. Like, it does feel good, but I don't know. I guess it depends on the relationship and what's happening in the relationship, I feel like. But a lot of people do put social media above their relationship, for sure.
I think so. And I think definitely now, since it's been monetized, it's like, how can you tell a girl, hey, tone it down, when she's making 2,000, 3,000, whatever on Instagram? You can't really tell somebody if this is their job to tone it down. Yeah,
but if you have a problem with that, why are you with that person in the first place? I mean, you knew what they were doing before you got with them, you know? So you can't be mad now.
That's very true. That's very true.
Right.
So I think that in today's generation too, though, instant gratification is just sought after the most. Like, I think people are looking at relationships now like they're getting into them without even wanting to stay in them for a long ass time. I feel like people now are more so just like, we rocking right now, but who knows tomorrow? Like, I really don't know. And so why would I give up all my niggas on the side that's hitting double tap for you when I don't even know if this is going to last forever?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
those
the
people should not
problem.
be in a relationship if that's how you're thinking. I mean, I don't know. I guess people have their flings and whatnot, but
Whores.
yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're going to get into a relationship, it should be for real. Because
You're just
I mean,
wasting your
wasting
time.
you're wasting all that time, and then it's just you have to start over if you guys break up, and it's a mess.
And I think you're wasting that person's time too. You know what I mean? We talked about this a while ago with the Lori Harvey situation, and I got killed for it, honestly, because I was saying how serial dating, you know,
She's for sure a serial
you leaving a
dater.
trail of broken people in a way. Like, to a certain degree, if I'm taking you out a couple dates, whatever, I'm not getting that emotionally invested. You know what I mean? Cool, whatever. But in that particular situation with her, she's dating dudes for a year plus, then
Right.
breaking it off a week,
Getting
month
a
later
new
with
one.
a new dude, and it's like, go Lori. But it's like, what about the niggas now? You seen how Michael B looked at the game. I mean, he was distraught. Like, he looked tore up. So I'm like, you leaving a trail of broken people. I think people need to take it more serious when they get in a relationship.
I agree.
But that makes me wonder too, like, what is wrong with her? If she's the
Something.
one leaving people and jumping into a new relationship a week later, do you think she has her own little things going on within herself?
Yeah,
It's
but
funny you say that, because I said that on the show. Like, I feel like it's some sort of like, I don't know, because it's not like she comes from a broken home or whatever. But
we also don't know that.
we don't know.
We
that.
really don't.
That's true. We really don't know we don't know the facts on it. So I felt like it has to be something in her where she's like maybe not fulfilled within herself or whatever. But I see a lot of dudes and a lot of girls like that jump from partner to partner to partner to partner to partner. And it's like, if you've had 10 failed relationships, you're the problem. Like, at some point, you're the problem.
But some people will always want more.
That's true too.
So maybe she just has some type of commitment issue, or she's just, like you said, not fulfilled within the relationship. Like, I don't know.
Or maybe she's
That's
just
crazy.
having fun. That's a bad bitch right there.
She is bad, but
I feel like she should.
I feel like if you're having
live her
fun,
life.
There's different ways to go about having fun.
yeah, like, you can't be getting in a relationship saying I love you, taking all these trips, spending all this money, and you don't see a future with them. Like, it's ridiculous.
But then again, these people are like filthy rich, where there's things that like they do to them that's like a whatever. That to us is like, if I take you to Turks and Caicos, like we damn near better be getting married. I'm not blowing that type of bag for no reason.
That's just
You
a
get what I'm
regular
saying?
Saturday for them.
For them. So
Right.
it's like you could say that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I want to get into the next topic about marriage. Now we're talking about relationships and shit like that. What are you guys' views on marriage? What do you guys think about it? Just people still doing it? Yeah, people still doing it. Do people
feel
think
like
I'm still here for the whole marriage thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah. Because I was engaged. I don't know if you knew, but I was
shit.
engaged. Yeah. To
Damn.
my son's dad. But like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, a marriage, that's a big step. It's a big commitment. And a lot of people don't realize it. They think it's just, we're married. It's just going to be this. It's easy. It's hard. Marriage is hard. So, but I still think it's very much worth it as long as you have that right person. If not, then it's not worth it at
How old are
all.
you right now?
I'll be 25 this
25?
month.
Do you feel like your age played a part in marriage or the possible marriage being difficult, or do you think that?
No, because like, I've known him for years. So back then, maybe, like, when I first met him, I was still childish. Like, I was playing games often. Like, I didn't care about anything.
Not the games.
But after I had my son, I think that, and then being with him for so long, I matured a lot from where I was when I first met him to now. So I wouldn't say my age really played a part in it.
Summer, how do you view marriage?
Don't get me started. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's cool, like, if you want to be, like, married, but I just feel like relationships are, like, so, like, iffy now, like, the society's views. I'm not wasting no money, no time,
Okay.
lawyer money.
Yeah.
Ain't doing
If it goes south.
So you don't want to be married?
You don't want to be
I
married.
really don't think I do.
I do.
No.
I want to be married, but I feel like it's hard. Like, I don't know. I've ran into people because obviously if you're dating people, you're going to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
At some point. I mean, even just getting to know people, like,
What are your views on marriage?
Yeah,
Like,
you
what
know?
I mean?
Some people just think it's a piece of paper. And for some people, it's deeper than that. But I don't know.
I don't think it's just a piece of paper.
I would say I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because I do want to be married, but also I don't know if it's worth it or not. I feel like if it's the right person, but...
And that's so tough to kind of like, I guess, know. You got to kind of have faith. And you got to, there's obviously signs, right? Like when it comes to marriage, is somebody financially stable? They got their head on their shoulders. You know, their traumas, how do they deal with that, etc. Like, is this somebody, because, you know, then you're getting into maybe we're having a family, and then what are you passing down to my children? You know, what type of values you,
Mental illness.
you know what I mean? Yeah, mental illness. You never know what's going on. So my take on it is that I would like to get married. I think that it's cool. I would love to be married. I've seen marriages within my family, and then I've seen people not be married and be together for 20 years. So it's kind of like,
Crazy.
it kind of depends on the two people. I think for men right now, marriage is a very scary thing because for one, the economy's fucked. And I know going to that as the first thing is like, oh, why are you talking about the economy with marriage? Well, because if we get divorced and you take half of my shit and I only had this much,
Right.
then
It's over.
It's over for me. You get what I'm saying? Then I'm on my ass. So I think that's that thing too. And then like we're talking about social media where it's like I've been seeing the loyalty test with the phones and usually people married for 20 years and they don't want to give up their phone on the loyalty test. It's like, whoa, you're still fucking around? You know what I mean? On the Snapchat and the Instagram and we've been married for 20 years.
Snapchat is crazy.
Snapchat is crazy.
If you still
They
have
need to.
Snapchat in 2023, like,
What are you doing?
you know,
What are
literally,
you doing?
They need to just hang it up immediately.
People
No,
be
I-
posting on there religiously too.
Yeah.
They love
I
Snapchat.
deleted Snapchat. I don't.
I'll download it, like re-download it here and there just
For
to see it.
memories.
And
That's
I'm
all I
like,
have it
damn,
for.
you
'Cause it has
still
all that-
posting on here?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, huh?
I need somebody that loyal to me as
Yeah.
like how they are to
To
Snapchat.
Snapchat for sure. Yeah.
No, I would like again. I would like to get married. I just don't think that a lot of people are in the right headspace at this point in time to do it. And maybe with age, it'll be more like you'll grow into it. But I think our generation compared to younger, like the older generations, that was their like thing. Like I'm 18, I move out, I fucking go to the army, whatever, have a kid, get married. Now we have more options where it's like, well, I can have a career and be fulfilled within my career, have my family and my friends and be more fulfilled. I feel like we've strayed away from being fulfilled with a relationship, and now it's more so like being self-fulfilled, which is a pro and a con to me because I think that being self-fulfilled makes you a great partner, right? Like if you are somebody who's confident in yourself, you have everything figured out for yourself, you're going to be a good partner because now you're not coming into a relationship looking for this person to like build you up. You're already there. But then at the same time, it becomes like a selfish thing where you're so self-fulfilled, you don't want to give up some of those things, you know what I mean, or compromise some of these things because you're like,
You're so used to being.
that might give up a part of me. And I that's where I come at the crossroads of marriage because it's like, that's what marriage is. You know, you look at Will and Jada, they crazy as fuck. Right? But it's like, that's that free will, like for real.
For real.
But it comes into that thing where it's like marriage in a long-term relationship is a whole bunch of compromises. Like you get what I'm saying to a certain degree. And I think people have to get more okay with that and not look at it like, you know, I am losing myself because I think you can compromise without losing yourself. You know what I mean? It just has to be healthy.
Yeah. And some people don't know how to do that. Like you're with someone for so long and you become a part of them to the point where you don't even know who you are.
I like that.
Without them.
Well, how do you guys think people don't run into that problem? Like, how do you date somebody and still remain yourself? Like, what are some things that you can do to remain yourself?
Just continue to do things that you love. Like,
Invest into yourself, your
Yeah.
happiness.
but I feel like that's also what happens when you're a child and you're in a relationship. You morph into one person. I feel like when you have been in a few relationships, or you're getting older, you see that that's not ideal or healthy, yeah, because then it just becomes a mess.
And I think the older you get, like for me, like I don't want to go everywhere you want to go.
Right.
I don't want to do everything you want to do. Like I don't want to be joint at the hip. Like I think as you get older, you're just like you want that space, you know.
And that's okay too.
There's nothing wrong with it, exactly. Whereas when you're a teenager or a super young, like you're looking at space as like, oh my god, like,
in each other's skin.
you want a day away from me, like you must not love me no more.
Right.
And it's like, nah, I just need a little breather. You get what I'm saying? Talking about this, I want to get into a topic that we kind of talked about a little bit off camera, which was women's lack of accountability.
Screaming.
So, in the realm of men, this is something that we speak on often. So, before y'all even start,
Quite ironic.
this is something that a lot of men have a problem with. So, we're speaking on relationships right now that there's no traumatic experiences, and I mean to the extent of like maybe cheating, you know what I mean, abuse, verbally, physically, things like that. Just your regular relationship, you know, there's problems, but it's not life altering. You know, a lot of men in those relationships talk about lack of accountability from women when things have broken. I don't think it's something that they like are big on speaking about like to the public, you know what I mean? But from like just a barbershop talk type of thing, something you hear about all the time. So do you guys feel like women have a problem taking accountability for some of the things that go wrong in a relationship?
I can't speak for everyone, so I'll just speak for myself. I definitely had that problem. I probably still do, but I'm not in a relationship, so. But I think it's easier. Well, for me, I'll say it was easier to, for certain things, to blame the other person rather than, like you said, take accountability, because you don't want to be the reason why something
Goes wrong.
is, like why the relationship is fading.
Okay.
So I think a lot of women have that problem, but obviously nobody wants to admit that, you know? So that's probably why, you know?
I used to never be able to hold myself accountable, but I've learned to like do so. That's the best way to do it.
Shit, me, I'm gonna always tell the truth. I did it. And what? Sorry, boo, love you.
I think, I just think to break it all the way down, like from our point of view, like from me being a little kid, you being a little kid, for instance, like we can do the same exact thing and I will be punished more severely than you just because of our sex. I'm a male, you're a female. So there's not too many, you know what I mean, warnings I'm gonna get before I get popped.
Right.
Whereas in you might get 50. I'm only gonna get 5. Before I
You're
get,
older too.
Yeah.
A little bit older.
but do you get what I'm saying? Where it's
Yeah.
like, so I feel like that's where women, and I don't want to group all women together, but I think that's where women's lack of accountability starts, is from a little kid up, because again, you guys get more chances to make more mistakes, whereas I don't get as many chances to make that many mistakes.
Right.
I get punished. And not only that, like it's like not like a hey, it's not like I throw some sugar first and then some salt. It's not like, hey, you know, this was good and that was good, but can you work on this? It's like, my nigga, you fucked up. This is what you did wrong. Don't do it. Don't do it again. Or I'm gonna fuck you up again.
Yeah.
That's what it is for us. So for us, it's like, oh, as soon as now, you know, take it to 20, 30 years later, as soon as something goes wrong, okay, we want to take the accountability for it, or we understand where we fucked up. Not all men, because I think men have, and we
They
get
have
into
some
that
real
too.
problems with
We got problems with
accountability.
accountability as well too. But I think that just speaking on it from that point, we're better at taking accountability because from when we're kids, we get punished first right off the rip, where y'all get the sugar coat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like that kind of goes like half and half, because like some guys are like mama's boys,
Mm.
so in their mom's eyes they do no wrong. So like
That's very true.
they're like, "What are you talking about?" And you could have the proof right there. They're gonna be like, "Well, no, I'm like, you know, go through all the loops and stuff." So I don't know.
See, I think with that gets into a conversation of more so gaslighting. Like when you have proof of something and niggas are still trying to
make you feel crazy.
Yeah.
that's when it's like, okay, now you're just exactly trying to make me look crazy. You're gaslighting me, which I think men for sure have a problem with.
Yeah.
They're pros.
Definitely.
I think so.
Should I put a name on it? No.
No.
I think so.
Well, everybody.
I think men definitely have a problem with that. And I think while men get punished more severely, it's more of a man's world where that's why we feel like we can dictate what goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like if there is a problem, I can talk my way out of this shit. I can shift the thought process and the vibe of this relationship by, oh, you're tripping, or it's not.
Or
what
so
it
they
seems,
think.
or, yeah, exactly, or whatever it is. You know, instead of taking the accountability for it and gaslight you, or because we're looking at things too. I think a lot of things that maybe y'all might trip over, we don't necessarily see the same way in certain things. And I think that goes for both people. Like the social media thing we were talking about. If I'm liking a girl's photo and you trip on it, I might be like, it's just a photo. But to you, it might be everything. But to me, it's really nothing. I'm like, okay, like it is what it is.
I think it's just how that goes into just how you're viewed by other people, because it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. But like I said, depending on what's going on in the relationship, like for example, your boyfriend's cheating on you, whatever, and a bunch of people know, you don't want to see him under these girls' posts, because now everybody's looking at you like, oh look, and talking behind your back, and yeah, exactly.
But he's
And
under my
that's
pictures.
just, it can be traumatizing.
And I think
To
that's
a
something
certain
dudes
extent.
do. Some dudes do is like, yo, block out all the noise. We do that shit. Block out the noise. Like, doesn't matter what other people are saying, right? And ladies, I'm gonna tell you right now, like that's a red flag. If a nigga's telling you it doesn't matter what everybody's saying, it's a red flag.
Like,
Yeah, because how you gonna have me out here looking dumb?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that does matter. Like how you make somebody look. It doesn't matter what your intent is either. Like that's another thing. Like it doesn't matter what your intent is. It's how something looks. Point blank. Period. You can shift it with words all you want, but when you do something, like how people are gonna take it, the majority, that's what it is. You get what I'm saying? So when people start, it doesn't matter how this looks or this is how I meant it. You could have meant it this way, but at the same time, how do you think that person on the other side is taking it? You
Right.
liking somebody's, like with the new thing Instagram story likes. You liking somebody's story or their body or their face, bruh. Come
Yeah.
on now.
You know
If
what
this
you're
is not
doing.
a friend, you know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other way to, you know what I mean, to move around that.
Yep.
To me, in my opinion. So I don't do shit like that because I feel like if I'm liking a girl's story, that's for sure. Like
You're
okay,
trying to tell her something.
trying to tell her
Yeah.
something. There's no other, you know what I mean? Unless it's like a cool homegirl or something, just
Yeah.
like her and her kid or
Yeah.
Right.
whatever. But like you
Disneyland.
posting pic body, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
liking it. I'm not your homie for one.
Mm-hmm.
For two, I'm probably trying to hit, you know what I mean? Trying to hit
Yeah.
that. Like there's no other reason for me doing that.
Right.
So the reason why I'm going to go back to lack accountability, because I think men have also gotten to that conversation with their women. Like, yo, such and such, you're posting this picture, dude is in your story likes. And I think girls, where the lack of accountability comes in as well, you know, this is a friend. But why would a friend act in this manner?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Pushing boundaries.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's a tricky situation. But I think overall, women got a problem with accountability. I mean, it comes from moms, aunties, cousins.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I object.
I mean, and I don't think it's just in relationships. I'm gonna be honest. I think it can be in life because again, I know women firsthand that have been afforded an easier route just to being a woman, and I don't mind that at all. I'm a man. I understand what my life is, what I gotta do. I gotta work hard. Cool. I'm not saying you gotta go out there and build a brick house to be you're a woman. It's two different things. But I think being able to be afforded an easier life is great, but it comes with a lack of knowing to certain things or a lack of accountability. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Like, because there's girls that are 30, 40, 50, whatever, and they might not have gotten the best career, but nobody's on their ass like,
Yeah.
you didn't do this and do this and do that. Now, if I'm doing that, they're like, you a bum. You know what I'm saying? Or, damn girl, like, you can see a girl's 300 pounds. Y'all calling her pretty.
I was talking about that the
Y'all
other
calling
day.
her pretty.
I'm not gonna lie.
She's not
Remember?
pretty. You're not. If you're 300 pounds and you're a girl, you're not pretty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's gonna offend some people. To me, you're not pretty. your weight is important.
Your
you
health.
need to be a healthy weight.
Yeah.
And if nobody's checking that, and Lizzo, perfect example.
Oh man.
She's at the Laker game, ass out, and people are going like this. Come on now, we don't want to see that shit.
Yeah.
Imagine a dude with that weight coming to, you feel me?
Like Rick
People
Ross.
gonna
Come on,
Get
now.
out of here.
Like Rick Ross bent
shirt
over to pick up some popcorn at the game and his ass is out. People gonna go crazy. Get in shape, fat boy. Like that's exactly what's gonna happen. So I think just on all levels, all spectrums, women get to avoid accountability more than us.
Yeah. I agree.
I feel like
You ate us
Lizzo
up with
be
that one.
Getting fat shamed too. Not gonna lie.
You said what?
I feel like Lizzo be getting fat shamed too.
She for sure does.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
She for sure gets fat shamed. But I think I
But
can't
it's like
even say
she's
the love
also-
is louder. I can't say that.
She's also like
But she
promoting it in a way to be unhealthy, which is where the problem comes in. Because why are you
You're-
telling people it's
yeah.
okay to be?
Obese.
Now people are
I don't
like,
want to
oh, I
say
want to
that,
look
but
like
yeah,
her.
like
All right, so enough about women's lack of accountability. Let's get into men's lack of accountability. You guys think men lack accountability? Obviously.
yes.
I do. Definitely.
Every single fucking one.
Okay.
I think a lot of people lack accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
believe
it's not
that
even a
too.
gender thing.
Mhm.
It's a lot of people, a huge percentage of people lack accountability.
What would you guys say are some things, I guess, that men lack accountability with?
That's actually a good question.
I have an answer actually.
Okay.
I just something just popped up in my head. So for example, you know how men always are like, oh, I hate women that nag. Like my woman is always like, she said she was over this. I cheated last year. It was last year. She said she was over it. She just keeps bringing it up. I'm sick of it, right? That's a lack of accountability because the reason why she's still bringing it up is because you cheated. And you have to take accountability for hurting her and doing what you did.
Okay.
So sometimes some men, instead of taking accountability, they kind of just like
Brush it off.
brush it off, and then he looked at you guys like, damn.
Yeah, that was seen. Yeah, okay.
You know, they brush it off, and they just be like, well, what can I do to just make her happy and forget about it? But they're not actually being, taking accountability to be like,
It's never gonna
I
get
really
forgot
hurt you.
about until you really take the accountability.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You know what? And I think, because in my opinion, I think men are very problem solution based. So when something like that happens, like how you said, they're more so looking at like, what can I do to make it better? But I don't think that at that point, like, there's anything
It's over.
you can really do besides take accountability for it. And then, I mean, but from that point on, how would we make it better? Like, how do men show that they've taken accountability for something like that?
Their words first.
Mhm.
You have to be you have to be verbal. It starts there. It starts with accountability. So if that's the example, is like, say, someone cheating on you, the start is apologizing, being genuinely sorry for what you did, and knowing why you're sorry.
Okay.
Not just saying sorry because I know that's what you want to hear, but saying sorry because I don't want to hurt you. I didn't like that feeling. So it's starting there. You're saying it, and even a man or a woman is probably not going to just take that and be like, okay, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
It still takes time. Like,
Definitely.
you have to put yourself in each other's shoes and be like, if that was me, would I only take a month to get over that? Probably not.
Yeah.
So that's
Step 2, go shoot that bitch.
I think I saw something where it takes like a year or 2 years or something like that. Like they were saying, like some scientific study where it takes a couple of years for somebody to even, once somebody gets cheated on, for them to be able
Fully
to
process it.
fully process it and get over it.
Yeah, because it messes you up.
I'm still not
Sometimes
over
real
people
bad.
don't get
Yeah.
over it even after 1 to 2 years.
So I would ask you guys, say somebody cheats, right? And then at that point, is it their fault if you can't get over it? You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
I feel like half and half, low-key, because it's like, it's your fault that you cheated, and then now it's my fault that I can't get over it.
I don't think it's our fault that we can't get over it, but I do think that you have to be willing to
Move past it.
move past it, because you can't just, if you keep bringing it up and bringing it up, it's gonna push that person away eventually. But that's why I think if somebody does cheat, it's just, the damage is done. Like,
If you can't move past it, you might as well just leave
Yeah.
the relationship.
I feel like when somebody cheats, like, they're always gonna cheat. Like,
I don't
once
think
you cheat,
that's
always
true.
speaking from
I
experience,
don't think
like,
that's
God
true.
Yeah, I
damn,
think
this shit
that's
don't
true.
stop.
I've cheated before.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
I've never cheated after that, though.
No. I mean, and so how do you think that affected your relationship? Was it like
it was already done.
It was already done.
Like if the reason why I never cheated again is because that wasn't even me. I just couldn't leave the relationship because I had this thing where I was like, I don't want to break up with nobody. I feel like I had to leave you, you know. But that relationship was already done. I was already getting cheated on so much. For
mentally checked out.
4 years, I mentally checked out. There was a distance between us, and someone else was showing me attention. I realized like this is more than just me cheating. I actually want to be with somebody else. And so when I got caught, it was like, okay, maybe I should got to really figure this out. And I'm like, dang, I don't like this feeling. Like I'm not a cheater. Like, because cheaters can just keep doing it. It's like it doesn't bother you that you're hurting
Not feeling
these
bad.
women, these men. Me, I was like, saw him cry. I was like, dang.
A lot of people don't
Break
care.
up with you.
They'll cheat and cheat.
Keep put yours a little bit more forward to the mic. Yeah, my bad.
Is this one fine?
This one?
Yeah. Well, whenever you
I don't remember what I was saying.
oh, shit.
Dang.
I just lost my train of thought.
What y'all feel about cheating back? Y'all doing it? Or
I think
nah?
it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Shit, me, I'm
That's
just
how-
gonna get my
yeah,
lick
it's-
back.
And
If I want to be with you, I'm getting my lick back for sure.
I know a lot of people that have taken that route, honestly, and I don't think it makes. I mean, maybe for some people, but for the majority,
Yeah.
I don't think it makes them feel any better.
It doesn't,
You know
but
what I mean?
But what's the point in the tit for tat?
Yeah.
Right.
What makes you any better than them?
you gonna hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you right back. I'm sorry.
Okay. Eye for an
Equality. No, I'm kidding.
eye. Equality. Eye for an eye. Hey, and that's how some people get out, and I try to put myself in other people's shoes, and while I wouldn't do that, I could see the urge to get revenge, right? Like you want to make somebody feel how they made you feel.
Yeah.
And
But then it's just like you're stuck in this cycle of going back and forth, cheating.
Trying
Like,
to one
it's
up each
just-
other.
Aren't you tired?
yeah.
Like you don't want to keep going through that and putting yourself through that, putting the other person through that, because then you're just it's toxic at that point.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah,
Okay. I got a
Don't
question
look at
for you
me
guys.
like
you can't be genuinely happy like that.
When it comes to dating, right? We're in an era where the scammer, the drug dealer, you know what I mean, the
Drug
you know,
dealer.
that kind of person is very sought after. Where the blue collar guy who works, you know, maybe he's a plumber or whatever, he's an average Joe, he's not as sought after. Or so that's what social media makes it seem. So, what's you guys' opinion on dating an honest worker versus the scammer type guy?
Scammers ain't shit. First off,
Mm.
you know, any
I would
man
never
that has
date
a
scammer.
No.
yeah.
I'd rather date an honest guy. I mean, I don't want to be having to look over my shoulder. Like this is not even my life, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Don't leave
I
your
couldn't
purse
do
open.
it.
What I've seen about it is some women like the luxury that it affords them, or the ability to not have to wait maybe from pay period to pay period, you know, to go here, do there. They like the access to the immediate, you know, fun that it brings.
It's like immediate because like sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
It's a risk.
Some
Yeah,
women,
exactly.
Need to just go get their bag.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
could stop looking
That
at the man
part.
to
Yeah.
be like, well, he offers this luxury. So if you
Right.
offer the luxury to yourself, it doesn't
You won't
matter
need
if
that.
it's 9 to 5.
Very true.
Also, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I would never date a scammer. I don't want to be with a man that sits there and just hacks people's stuff. on me. That's not.
Foul.
You're not really
And they're gonna get
grinding.
caught
Yeah.
eventually.
And
They're not
Like-
really grinding there. Like
they're not going to get
Kinda
very far
asshole.
in life with it. I mean, unless people really do be scamming for their
ever.
entire life. But like, how far
It's a
can that
career.
really go? That's not a career.
It's an easy way out for sure.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get caught eventually. Like it's gonna happen.
I'm dead. I remember this
So-
one time. I'm not gonna say his name, but they picked me up and they were like, "We need you to do a favor." And then they called like T-Mobile or whatever, trying to
Oh,
like
I know
get
what
the
you're
phone
talking
scam.
about.
Yeah, and I had to pretend to be like a 50-year-old woman. I was like, "Hello, how are you?" Like, I felt so bad after. I'm like, "How do y'all do this?" Like, and feel right.
No remorse.
Yeah, no remorse.
A big topic I want to talk because I know you have a son, you have a son, you have a son, right?
Oh.
We don't have kids.
I got a dog.
Yeah, I have a dog.
She's
I have a
the
dog,
she's
right?
the single auntie.
Yeah.
I'm drunk auntie.
How is it dating as a single parent? Is it harder? Is it easier? Because I have my takes on it. I have my takes on it, but I want to get the people who are actually parents. I want to get their take on that situation.
I would
That's
say
a lot.
it is harder, but it's not. Like, I see it different ways. For women to try and date someone when you have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm new to this too, so I'm just learning
Yeah, me
myself.
too.
Mm-hmm.
But how can I say this? You don't want to just jump into a relationship with somebody because you have a kid. You don't only have yourself to think about. You have a child to think about as well. So that's kind of where it gets tricky from coming from me. But I feel like from being single these last few months, I feel like guys, they don't care.
They don't.
They'll get with a single mother quick. I don't know if they see that it's like we're nurturing or like what I don't know what it is, but from what I've seen, they don't care.
Yeah.
And people talk about it all the time, like, oh, I can't be with a single mom and da-da-da, but then here they are like trying to get with a single mom.
I have lots of friends that have dated single mothers and then went to take care of those kids as well. So my take on it is it can be harder, but it can also be easier because I think when you're a single parent, obviously you have a child, and that might deter some men or some women away from you. So if somebody's like, and it's all about how people are coming to you, you know what I mean? If somebody's pursuing you for real, then I think, and they know what, you know, is within your life, then they're going to be willing to step up to the plate if they have to. So I think that, whereas I'm a single guy, I don't have a, you know what I mean, a child. I can't really say for certain if somebody's here for real or not. Like, neither can y'all. But if somebody's really going to go out of their way after knowing that you have a child that is not theirs, to me, that's easier to see that they're really for you.
Exactly, yeah.
Whereas and if you don't have that, they could just say, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's both. But I also think that a lot of men and women are just not mature enough to handle that situation, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like, they're not going to want to do what it takes to raise your child if you guys do get into that situation. And they might not come equipped with, you feel me, what's needed, you know, as well. So that's kind of my take on it.
How old are you guys' sons?
1.5.
My son's 2.
2? Okay, so my son's about to be 8. And I haven't been in a serious relationship since I've been with his dad.
Okay.
So for like 7 years, I have not jumped into a serious relationship. One, because I don't care to bring everybody to my family. So I've dated, but nobody has passed that trial. So,
Right.
But I feel like
That's how it should be.
I feel like dating though with the child, it's easy and it's hard because you're gonna run into different people. You're gonna have people that, like you said, they don't care that you're a single mom. That's a good and a bad thing. The bad thing is you don't care that I'm a mother. So
Right.
you don't care that when you hurt me doing childish shit, that I have to go and sit in front of my child and still cook and still take him to this and do that or whatever the case is. And like, once again, back to what you said, you have this child to worry about, which means I have to be 100% in order to give 100% to my baby. And a lot of people are not mature enough, both the women and the men, because they'll sit here. Some women just jump into relationships knowing that you have this child and you have to cater, you know, nurture this child and things like that. If you are not 100%, you're crying over some man, you're mad, so you yelling at your baby and stuff like, stop crying, all because this man, you know, you're moving a little too fast. Me personally, I've had those experiences where people have, like, I don't even talk about my son when I first started dating anybody. I don't hide him. He's on my page for what, you know, however much I want to put him on my page, but I do not bring him up. I do not tell anybody I have a son, like, unless they really are interested in knowing, because you start talking about something that means a lot to you, and some men are like, I'm gonna just bring up her son every time just so I could,
I don't like that.
just so I could make her think, you know, that I care, and that has pissed me off because I have introduced my son to someone before. He's probably met like 2 dudes that I've dated, and his relationship with them was very good to the point where he's like, I want to go to such and such, like I miss him and da-da-da, and I used to be like, so like, because I've dated, you know, certain men with kids, and I treat their kids like mine, whether it's marriage, whether it's we're just dating. If you have children, I was a stepchild.
Okay.
That's something I always wanted as a kid, was to feel like these are still my parents too. I just wanted the extra love. I didn't care about the titles. So to make a child feel this type of way, and then you don't understand that if you leave me, not that it's your responsibility, but damn, you created a bond with my child. Like, let that mean something. And if it never meant nothing to you, it just makes me personally think like you wasn't as real as I thought you were. Because I've dated someone, I still check on their kids, and me and him don't talk anymore.
Wow. Okay.
You know, happy birthday to them. They still FaceTime me, just like, what you doing and stuff. And I'm like, how you guys doing in school? Same thing I do to my son, I do to them. Tell me something you learned today. Tell me about your day. Like, because they're kids. You have your own relationships with them, you know? So if you say you love somebody's kids, they're humans. You love them. You walk away, that means you never loved them. So it's easy and it's hard, but you just have to be very careful. You have to pray for discernment. And I think at this point in my life, I'm taking different steps where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be slow to let people into that side of me. Like, we could date, we could have fun, but you start asking about my son, I'm about to be like, wow, what you want? What you trying to do? Like, where are we going?
People
Don't
be
ask
telling
about
me
him if you don't want to. You know, you don't
yeah,
plan on
don't
taking
even.
care of
I'm
him.
not even gonna put the pressure on you. Don't even bring him up. I'm not gonna bring him up. You don't bring him up.
That's
That's
what-
not the route you.
that's
wanna
what people do too. They'll be like, "Oh, let's hang out," and I'm like, I'm a mom. I can't just up and
People
leave.
don't understand that.
That's what they say. Bring your son. I'm like, I'm not bringing him around you. Like,
Niggas
that's
thirsty
not
too.
happening.
They'll say anything.
Yeah.
They'll say anything. Bring your
Like,
son. Come on.
I've never
You know?
even
He
met
could
you in
come
my
too.
life,
Yeah.
but you want me to bring my kid?
Yeah.
Like, no, it don't work
Crazy.
like that.
You're crazy. We crazy. Man.
It's bad. Me personally, I just feel like it's so bad to have so many people around your kids.
Definitely.
Like, that was my issue before. Is like, this man I know always had just a lot of different women around his kids, and I didn't like that, and I just did not respect that because they're kids. Like,
They're impressionable.
They're impression. Yeah, literally.
you could be a player, but your kids don't gotta be players.
Yeah.
They don't have to see that. You know, like when I wanted to go through my phase where I wanted to just be outside and all that, my son was with my mom, or he was at his dad's house that weekend, you know, or he's with his friends that weekend. So he don't see that side of me, mom party and all that. But like having so many people around your kids is so unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
Because you're not showing them consistency. I've learned
Kids are sponges too.
they're
so it's
sponges.
like,
I've learned consistency because I've learned that from different areas of my life. But as far as relationships, both my parents were remarried when I was younger, and they've never been with anybody else.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I've always seen what consistency looked like in that area of life. You know, like to stay with someone for 20 years or so. It's a lot that goes into it, ups and downs, but it shows you how to be consistent. Like to have all these people around your kids is just like,
They're gonna grow up and think that that's okay.
That's okay.
yeah, like my dad ran through them, so
Why not?
So
Do
why
it too,
can't
right?
I?
oh my god.
Now, you know, talking about that, like growing up as a child, do you guys think the trajectory? Because we have a lot of failed relationships, right? Like the divorce rate is 50%, pretty much. Like people are getting divorced to damn near as soon as they're getting married. So when you're talking about, you know, how you're growing up and the home you're growing up, that kind of brings me to, do you guys think that there's a way for people who grow up in broken homes to kind of change the trajectory of how they act in their relationships? Do you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of people literally just fall into the same things that, you know, maybe
The
they saw
cycle.
within their life. But at what point do we, I guess, try to be different?
I feel like that low-key falls back on the accountability part too, because it's like you got to realize what you want for your life and like how you want to be different and like break like, you know, generational curses or whatever.
I think it takes time too,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I think people have people are so thirsty for love from another person, thinking that it's going
They'll
to fill
take
the
whatever.
void within themselves. That's where you get the multiple relationships and you know, these catastrophic, traumatic relationships, because for one, people are not good at walking away. Especially in our generation, that's something
swear to
that
God.
I think we struggle with, right? Like
Yeah.
we would
What you
rather,
want?
you know, or people are
I'm on the
not people
way.
are not willing to end it the right, like they want to go out with a bang almost. It's like we
Yeah.
want to go out hurting each other to
Crash
and
out.
people actually think that, you'll hear people like, you know, I cheated on him, he cheated on me, or like not even that, but like maybe whatever, we've gotten a crazy fight, blah blah. You know what? That person was the one. Like it's almost like the traumatic experience seals in these people's heads, or in certain people's heads, like that was the one.
Like a trauma bond.
Yeah. Instead of being like, instead of us just, if we
Guilty.
break it off, you know, mutually and be like, hey, I don't want to do this, you don't want to do this. It's like that means you don't love me. It's almost like, oh, you're not fighting for me. So I think we have a problem with viewing trauma as love, low key, and I think that's due to how we're raised. Like not all of us, but a lot of us in broken homes, like we view the fighting and the cussing and the petty games and shit like that. We view that as love. Like we view that if you're not doing that, then you really
You don't
don't
fuck
love
with me. Yeah.
No one likes uncomfortable conversations either. It's uncomfortable to tell someone like, this is not working out. And I know that from experience.
Me
And,
too.
you know, I'm at a point where I'm like, look, don't even drive off yet. I need to say something like, let's sit in the car for a second. Yeah, so what you trying to do?
I'm dead.
You know, maybe you should live your life, because it's not, it's so much friction. It's like somebody has to be able to step up and be like, this cannot work, but I still love you.
Yeah.
You know, I like, it's all about the conversation, being verbal, to say how you feel. Don't leave no questions there. Like, if someone has questions, ask them. But the other person needs to answer them. Like, well, then where do I stand with you? Well, look, I'm not ready for a relationship, but I do love you. I've enjoyed my time with you, but I don't want to hurt you. And I know that I want to go out here and do this and da-da-da. It's all about that conversation, but it's uncomfortable to people. It's like, people just need to learn how to be more blunt.
Yeah.
I think to go back to, you know, how we're raised and if we'll be able to like get better and stuff, it's all a choice. It's kind of like growing up.
You have to want better for yourself.
It's kind of like growing up in the hood. You didn't have to end up a gangbanger.
Yeah.
You really didn't. You could have been a doctor.
Yeah.
Because there's people in the hood that are now doctors and lawyers because they made a choice. And they still grew up. They could have had drug addicts for parents. They could have been homeless. They could have, all the stuff that a lot of people use as their excuses, somebody made a different choice. It's all about a choice.
Damn. That's very true. Life is about choices, really.
Life is about
What E40 say? Everybody got choice.
That's very true. I want to ask you guys think everybody should go to therapy? Because a lot of this stuff, I feel like learning how to deal with talking about uncomfortable conversations, learning how to step away from things that don't suit you. Do we need therapy for that? Or is that something that we can kind of work on within ourselves? Because therapy is expensive, y'all.
Both.
Okay. You?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think therapy, you feel me? Like, you just think it's...
I think it could help everybody.
See, I feel like you have to be like, because there's something called, what is it? Get better or get help?
Better me?
Better, yeah, something like that. And it's like a virtual therapist. And so I feel like while therapy is cool, you have to like really research who you're going to go to, right? Like, for me, if I'm a black dude, I'm trying to find somebody who's a black dude. I'm not trying to go to a white dude or a white woman.
Yeah, you have to like connect.
You know what I mean? You have to look into who you're going to get therapy from. And then even that, when you sit down with them, you got to see if they're doing this maybe just for their job or they're really trying to help
Actually
people.
care.
But do you guys know what therapy actually consists of? The whole basics of it is, just like you guys are sitting on this couch, your therapist is not here to tell you how to live your life. That would be like a life coach.
Yeah.
A therapist is so you have somebody that you have a safe place. I go here, this is my safe place to let everything out from when I was 3 or 5 or whatever, and this happened. I never told nobody. This is where you let it all out. Say I'm the therapist. I'm just going to let you talk. I'm going to take note of everything you said. So if you say something tomorrow, I'm going to say, well, yesterday when you said you were 5, you did this. And then at 10, you say you did it again. And then at 13, you say you did it again. Do you think there's a pattern? It's all internal work. So that's why I say both. Because you could do the internal work on your own. You got to have the uncomfortable conversations. You have to take accountability. You have to do all these things on your own. But a therapist is like, it's like having an assistant. If you're an assistant to, let's say, a department, right? And you have 5 people that you work under. All you're doing is organizing all of their work. They still have to do their work. That's all a therapist is I'm here to listen to you, take out all your problems, let's put it on the table, let's write it, let's put that one over there, this one over here, this one connects. And then you're going to be able to see one day like, damn, no wonder I have issues with men. I used to chase my father growing up, and I thought that was real love, because that was my purest form of love. No wonder. Boom.
What would you guys say? Because I think this is very true, and I always tell people, like, it starts at home. Like, your home and what you deal with and see as a kid, even if you don't, because you'll hear a lot of people kind of like not even find a problem with certain things, how they've been raised, whatever the case is. And I think that's a problem because it all starts at home. So you have to know and be able to identify what those problems were. And maybe that's why people avoid therapy, because really
they don't want to know.
They don't want to know, and they don't even want to get it out, right? Because it's like, oh, well, my dad was this or that, or my mom, you know, she was out all night or whatever. They don't even want to get into those uncomfortable conversations because, or they think it's okay. They sit there and think it's okay. And for you to realize that it's not okay means you have to unlearn everything that you've, you know what I mean, done in your whole entire life. And that can be scary for anybody. I mean, shit, to have your whole world thrown upside down and now you have to change it. I think that's a very tough thing to do, but I think it's worth it. Right, because you're going to become a better friend, husband, wife, whatever. You know what I mean? A better person overall. So it's something that we have to do. I like that though, because I think some people who have the money just go to therapy just to get it off their chest, but not actually do the work. Like you just paying to go get, talk, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So it can definitely be done, just on you. You feel me?
But let me say, which camera am I looking at? Let me say this. There is therapy that is for free, and I want to say that because I'm big on mental health. Your insurance will cover it. There's different insurance where I have a friend that's going through her insurance, and if she misses her therapy session, she has to pay $200. But but it's free.
If you go,
it's free. My cousin goes to therapy. It's through her insurance. I could go to therapy. I got to do the work to find my therapist, but it's through. You could do it through your insurance, even with what is it called, Medi-Cal. Like,
really?
yes, you can do it through your insurance to where you can get the help that you need. It might not be the top doctors or whatever, but it's all about just, like you said, finding the right person. So I just wanted to let everybody out there looking and stuff, please don't think, I gotta get somebody. No, just get some insurance.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I just learned that recently, and I'm like,
after I had my son, my insurance offered me to go to therapy. They offered to pay for therapy if I needed it. I never took him up on it. I probably should have, but I never took him up on it.
I feel like it's something that like we look at, like you got medical, and within that we look at like doctor. You know what I mean? I got hurt. I'm sick. Okay. You don't ever think of it from a mental aspect. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know if that's just. I think that's within all communities, especially Black community, brown community. Yeah. We frown upon going to anybody for anything. You know, we rather deal with it. We rather deal with it the unhealthy ways we know how to deal with it.
I hear a lot of people say too, like, well, why would I want to go talk to a therapist? Like, what are they going to do for me? Yeah. And I'm like, they could really help
change your life.
They could really change your life, the way you think, everything. It could be a lot different for you. You just don't want to do it.
I think like what you're saying too, like if I'm just saying everything that's happened to me from 5 to 27 with no judgment, and then they can just spit it back out, like it's almost like when I go rewatch the pod, I'm like, oh, this shit wasn't. I thought I was killing it right here. I wasn't really killing it right here. You get me? You can see it verbatim where the problem is. You know what I mean? So I think that's very powerful. I wanted to ask you guys, where is the, I guess, cutoff from boundaries in a relationship to insecurities? So what do you consider boundaries, and then where do those boundaries, go too far and then become insecurities?
Anything you don't want me doing, I don't want you doing. And I feel like that's a boundary, because it's like, okay, if you at the club and you just like, wilding out, would you like it if I was doing that? Yeah. Probably not. So that's kind of like a boundary. But then the insecurity is kind of just like, why do you follow this bitch? Like, who is this? You're texting your mom, like, at 2 a.m.? Like,
you know. Your mom a lot.
Yeah, oh God. Yeah, so.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
Yeah. What do you guys feel about clubs? Like, would you guys care of your partner?
Have fun.
If you feel that they're a faithful person, like, if that's not something that, I feel like it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, but if you don't trust who you're with, things like that are going to become a bigger issue.
I feel like you can't meet a man in the club, though, for sure.
Probably not the best place.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like a bar, clubbing, because we out here for one thing to wild out. Yeah, literally. Yeah. So.
But yeah, please have fun. Like,
safely.
All that, like, I don't want my man going to. My man could go to the strip club. I do not care.
Okay.
Oh, you tough.
I will go. I will go with him. I've done those because I have fun. I don't want nobody to be as like single for so long, dating or whatever. Like, people can only say so much to you, but I've learned to live my life. And then you start thinking, when you're in your single phase, imagine a man there, right, saying, you've been with your homegirls all day, Mind you just been having a blast with your friends, or, oh, you doing a podcast? Yeah, right. You ain't picking up your... Imagine that on your plate. And I was like...
It's ridiculous.
I'm like, so when I get into a relationship, let's just have fun. I'm going to trust you. I have this thing where you don't have to earn my trust. You already have it. You could break it, though. Like, you could fuck up and then you lose my trust. Because what, you earning my trust? Like, what you going to do? Like, how do you earn my trust? You don't really earn anybody's trust. People should just trust you. If I'm gonna allow you into my life, that's how I know I could trust you. I wouldn't just allow you into my life if I felt like I couldn't trust you. And it's on you now to break my trust. But like, man, go have fun. Strippers,
they're there to make their money. They're not really there to.
They're not there to take your man. But if your man gets took, then you don't want him.
He's not your man.
You don't want him in the first place. Like, thank you, shoot. Yeah. Like, thanks for taking that off my hands. But we're young. Like, have fun. Go. You know what? Like she said, it's boundaries. Like, don't do nothing you wouldn't want me to do. So. If you want to go do that, go do it. But if I go do it, would you want me dancing all on something
Right.
and stuff? Would you want me giving my number out? Would
Yeah.
you want me doing those things? No. Okay, so those are the boundaries. But yeah,
No, I like that. And
She
I
said
think
you tough.
I think boundaries. I think boundaries too have to be like you have to base them off of who you're dating to a certain degree, right? So your boundaries that you set can't be like to a certain degree unbreakable. Like there's certain things where like these are my boundaries and this is what it is. But if you're dating somebody that's within an industry or something like that where they're going to be talking to the opposite sex,
Yeah, you knew what it was.
they're going to be, maybe in the club, maybe that's their job, maybe that's how they go get their money, whatever. You have to then like alter your boundaries a little bit. You can't be so stern where, you know what I mean? These are things that are like, I'm not gonna do it. Then you gotta look at your partner. Like maybe your partner's an introvert. Maybe they don't like going everywhere and doing everything. Maybe you do. So then it's like you kind of have to make those adjustments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about it. I think when boundaries become insecurities is when it becomes like like a fence. Like I feel like I can't move or I can't do this because you might react a certain way, right? Or I can't go to the club or
Walking on eggshells.
yeah, I'm walking on eggshells or whatever. I think that's a big problem. I got a question though. I heard this scenario. Say I go to Whole Foods, right?
Not Whole Foods.
Say I go to Whole Foods and I meet a girl in Whole Foods. Look, I meet the girl in Whole Foods and she's cool. Mind you, I have a girl. I'm talking to her. Okay, I come back to Whole Foods next week. I see the same girl.
Oh no.
And then consistently talking to her.
I talk to her, right? Then maybe the next week she's like, hey, I'm like, hey, let's get some lunch at Whole Foods.
I'm beating
Are
both
you,
y'all
are,
ass.
you wrong? Are you wrong for not telling your partner?
You were wrong
I
for
was
opening
so
up your
wrong.
mouth to that girl.
Yeah.
Right.
You were supposed to go to Whole Foods.
And that's why you went back to Whole Foods.
And then you went back to thinking, oh, I'm gonna get some more groceries.
Right.
And you still talking to her, and then you go back again.
Because you knew she was gonna be there.
You're talking about get food.
I was seeing this because I was watching a Joe Budden podcast. They had this scenario going on there where they were kind of saying like some of them were on that side because of you're getting into that gray area where you're like, are you doing something wrong technically? That was their argument because you're just having lunch with somebody who could be platonic.
But you know
No.
it's not.
But if it's not platonic
You don't want it
because
to
you don't
be.
know them,
Okay.
Also, if you have
Because
a
why are you trying to get to
girlfriend-
know somebody else?
Yeah, like
I'm
like
at home.
Like if you're at the Whole Foods and Shorty's right there and now y'all are sitting down
it's
eating,
hello, how
chopping
you
it up.
doing today?
Uh-huh.
And
You know
that's
what I mean?
it.
Have a great day.
Let's
No,
go
for
get
real.
some lunch.
I thought this was an interesting scenario because I heard some of them be like, well, and they're a lot older than us though. So I don't.
The men or the women was saying this too.
Both.
Go
Both.
ahead,
It was
go ahead.
a mixed. It was honestly a mixed review.
Mhm.
A few of the men were like, you're already entering, the danger zone, honestly, because you're not telling your partner. You're sitting down with a girl. Which, by the way, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
By the way,
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there. I'm not trying to go to Whole Foods and start a Whole Foods relationship, right? But I thought it was interesting because it kind of brings up, do you tell your partner like everything? Like you get what I'm saying? Like, or if you just have the conversation and you see her there often or you see him there often, y'all have, hey, what's up? How you doing? Blah, blah. Is that something that you start to let your partner know? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think so.
I feel like if
does
it's
that cause
not
an
going
unnecessary
past, hey, how you doing? Then I guess it's not really that big of a deal. But
Yeah.
you're having lunch and doing all this extra stuff, like you know you're doing something wrong, and that's why
Especially
you're
if you're
not,
not
telling your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you're like talking to the person and then inviting your partner to lunch with you guys.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
That could be cool, but if you're keeping it from your partner, no, that ain't okay.
ain't no lunch while you dating me. Like I said, hey, how you doing today? And that's it. And you can say it next week and the week after to that same girl. But lunch and all that, only time you to make. Now I hate to sound like this, but it's like
Go ahead.
only time you need to make new friends in a relationship with the opposite sex if it naturally happens, if that makes sense. And I know that's like a natural thing to run into somebody at a grocery store, but like it's the grocery store. Like, hi, hey, how you doing?
It
Exactly.
should go further.
Now
than
you are at work
Right.
and you have a coworker and you guys see each other every day. You guys talk about work and stuff like that, and then you realize like, oh, that's my friend from work. then eventually if you guys are now talking, like y'all be texting or whatever, you still should not go to lunch with her.
Yeah.
Right.
You still should not be sitting down with her. You're spending too much personal time with this opposite sex for what?
For what?
Do you even want those problems in your relationship?
Yeah.
That's my thing. Do you really want a new friendship that bad that you want to bring those type of problems in the relationship? Like, it's just pointless. It's not even about insecurities. It's not about not being able to do what you want to do. It's just more so like, pick your battles.
Yeah, that's a fact.
What do you need a new guy friend for? You have a boyfriend. That's your best friend.
It's okay. So talking about, because you brought up work, what you guys think about the work boyfriend, work girlfriend thing? Y'all think that's something
I'll
that really
beat y'all
happens?
asses. What
Is
you
that something
mean?
that really happens?
With single
That
people?
is.
Let's be clear.
I mean,
feel like
in
it's not single
relationships,
people.
like, do you think that, because you see the jokes and stuff like that online, do you think that there is that thing where there are women and men who have like a work boyfriend, a work girlfriend?
Yes.
I feel like I've seen
So-
it firsthand.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
for
so-
real.
Let's do this.
What?
Let's go to this scenario. Kind of like the same thing with the Whole Foods. You have a coworker, right? Think about it. And
Taking
now-
your lunch together.
Now you're taking your lunch together.
Ah.
Now y'all both taking lunch at 12. Maybe it's going to 12:45.
Oh my god.
You get what I'm saying? Is that the same thing?
I'm calling corporate.
You know what I'm
real.
saying? And like, you're not, obviously when you get home, are you telling your partner, oh, I took lunch with Susie, every day I take lunch with Susie. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I think, in my opinion, it, to a certain degree, it depends on how attractive the person is. Because if the person is attractive, you're gonna be pressed. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
maybe.
not pressed, but
Definitely concerned to
No, I
like an
wouldn't even say
extent.
that. I had a dude have me messed up with a girl that looked like a man. So,
okay, so you never know. Yeah,
so
that's
I don't
very
care
true.
if she ugly. I don't
That's a
care. I
different
ain't gonna put it
type of
past
like-
nigga no
Yeah.
more. Like,
Yeah.
I said no lunch. I'm gonna start bringing you lunch at this point since you so
I'm
damn
dead.
hungry.
So that's something you guys feel like you wouldn't have to tell your partner. You have a work friend, and you guys go up the street to whatever.
I feel like I would tell my partner because I'm
Yeah.
gonna start to feel guilty at some point.
No, for sure.
Because like you guys said earlier, don't do nothing that you
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
like me doing. So I would feel guilty.
You're at work
Eventually,
to
I
work
would-
anyways.
Yeah, work to work,
So
right?
like,
That's it. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Last topic. Options. Social media and options. Do you guys think that women and men have as many options as they feel like they do due to their social media? Like in
like
real,
in versus real
like,
life.
like
No.
exactly. So you have, for instance, how we went back to the pictures on the gram, and you might have 50 dudes in your DMs. Do you have 50 options, or do you know what I mean?
no.
I
You
feel
know
like
what I'm saying?
social media makes it feel like you have all those options, but in real life, if you really try to like meet these people and talk to them, you're
You see
not
they're
gonna
not
like
an
them.
option.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
People are a whole lot different on social media than they are in person.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
And
you
half
never
these
know what you're
people-
really gonna get until you're face to face with someone. I don't see it.
Yeah, if you
as
can't see-
options.
If you can't see a future with that person, then they're not an option.
I feel like half
That's
these
how I
people
look at
too
it.
on social media literally are in relationships and like using social media to try to like, and I'm like, boy, if you don't take that to Tinder or something, like, this is Instagram. I'm
think
trying to
that's
post my
very
pics and go.
Social media has became a dating site.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and no, literally,
At this
you can
point,
delete
right?
messages, unsend them, vanish
Vanish
mode. Let's go to
It's all
Instagram
bad,
to
honestly.
the CEO. We finna fight him.
I feel like
What?
to a certain degree they created it for
That's
that
crazy.
reason, right?
Yeah.
Would it be crazy to say that Vanish Mode was created for people to get out of trouble? Like
It
what else are you
is.
using
Because
it
what
for?
else? Yeah,
'Cause it's like
exactly. Like, what else is
Snapchat
it
in a way,
for?
like-
Like their Instagram is a business, so they have to please all their
Everybody.
Even the cheaters.
even the cheaters.
Even the
So they're
cheaters.
like, oh, our cheaters are not gonna be on Instagram. They're getting
Yeah.
caught. How can we help them? Like with Snapchat.
They're going to
Vanish
Snapchat.
Like,
Yeah.
remember Snapchat used to give show you like
Who the
these are
best
the
friends
top
were.
3
Yeah.
best friends
Yeah,
are.
and then they took
I
that
caught
away.
my dude so many
Yeah.
times. Like, who is
We
this?
was
Like,
talking about that in high
Nah,
then
school.
it went away. Like, why did that go away?
Yeah, Instagram need to bring back the
Were you
the
saying what they
like?
The
Yeah.
following
Because
tab,
why are
right?
you liking? Yeah.
No, we was talking about that one
Bruh.
episode. I'm like, man, I used to, in high school, you be snapping a girl, think, oh, she's great. Then you go to, you see the back, wait, my homie.
Right.
You're like,
two.
hey,
What
send
the
me
hell?
send me
What's
some
going on?
Snapchat so this
Yeah,
could go
wait,
away.
Right.
Exactly. Like,
dead.
this
That's
is crazy.
funny.
What's
Man.
y'all Snap score?
I don't even
I
know.
don't Snapchat.
I deleted
Yeah.
Snapchat a long time
Well, I
ago.
have it on my phone for the memories.
So what's y'all's
But
That's me too.
nah, when I was in high school, low key, that it was booming. But like,
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
know
used
that was
Snapchat
a
way
thing, and the streaks and stuff kind of like a while ago. Was a
Streak.
thing, you know what I mean? But I've never
What's your
I'm never a
streak?
person to really post pictures like that anyway. So
yeah,
that's not my thing. Back to the options thing though. I think that people in general think they have more options. I think that everybody, men and women, think they have more options. They think they have more chances in their career. They think they have a lot of more things due to the social media. Yeah. Like it makes you feel like, oh, I know this producer, this person who, you know, runs this club, and so I could, you know what I mean? And it's not that simple. You can't just jump from here to there. But social media will make you feel like that.
And make you feel like you know them because you follow each other. It's like real life you haven't met.
Don't even know who it is.
Then you run into a lot of people where it's like, is this fool really a producer? Is he really a photographer?
Or did he just put that in his bio?
Is he really, you know what I mean? Are they really doing what they're saying they're doing? Because you meet these people in real life and it's like, you know
what are you doing? Who is this?
They're not doing what they're saying.
Bunch of scammers.
Bunch of scammers. People need to just stay off social media, but like social media is just for us to be social. And now it's turned into like, this is where I'm gonna get my dating advice. And social media said that if he doesn't buy me flowers and a Louis bag, and
he's not the one for me.
He's not the one. He don't love me for real, and that's bullshit. It's like, get your ass off of social media. Stop taking advice off of social media. None
Go
of
touch
that.
some grass.
There's no fact checks.
Right.
Live your life based off of facts. You know, like everybody's keep going on there thinking the grass is greener somewhere. The grass is greener where you water it.
That's very true. I think people too now are just becoming like more robots, where it's like, exactly, we all like 50% of people have this opinion, you know what I mean, based off of just their following page. Like people are basing how they interact with people, how they view certain topics based off of their followers. Like, and that's it. So you don't even really have your own view anymore on the world. It's all based off of your favorite podcast, your favorite social media influencer, you know, and things like that. And you can even see facts that disprove this, right? Like real life facts, like the whole the date list thing. Like people, we talked about that last episode. People were in a frenzy over cheesecake, but you'll go to cheesecake on a Sunday and see 50 couples in there.
Right.
You can't even get in for hours. So it's like, is it really that serious to take a girl to cheesecake? Probably not. But then you got people who are actually taking this shit serious,
right?
And that's creating problems. So it's just, it's funny how that works.
They easily influence.
Yeah.
They look for
followers.
They look for validation through social media.
Yes.
I hate that. I can't stand being with a man that like literally can't not post anything. Like he literally has to, like, as soon as the food comes, boom. Like, how are you pulling out your phone before me? Like, I thought this was a
princess.
right? Like, okay, Bookie. Like,
no, we've and man, I don't want to get on dudes because okay, you guys are making your bread. You know what I mean? But like, I come from the time where we don't post shit, bro. I don't post shit. I mean, you post, you know, you with your girl, whatever, certain things, but dudes and like you in the shower.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You're doing too much.
Yeah, you like, bro, what is you doing? You leave that stuff for the women. In my opinion, even women doing it over the top is extra. Like,
I hate that.
In general.
Having to scroll like.
But I'm okay with seeing a girl like boom, 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 more so than like, dude, come on, my bro.
Let me get this picture, bro. Hold on.
Go work, bro. Put in your 8 hours and shut up, bro, and go home and you know what I mean, and make some bread. I understand now. We're at a point where you can't even really tell people that though, because they're profiting off of it. So how can I tell dude in Target leaving his tripod there, you know what I mean, walking out like that's stupid when he's like, bro, I just made a bag. You want to see
right?
You made a corny bag.
No, but for real though,
not the corny bag.
Back to that. We have to get
you
back
made
to
a bag,
that.
but it was corny.
As men, as like, what are you doing for a bag? What do you look like? Like we have to get back to that. The bag cannot override who you are as a person and how you present yourself at the end of the day. Like if I'm a dude, that's why certain things that I pick to talk about on this podcast, I pick it very like with intent because I don't want to be looked at as a certain type of guy, right? I want to be a man's man. So I don't want to be the guy that got a bunch of bread, but then niggas is looking at me like he's a cornball or he's a softie or whatever. Like, so I feel like we have to get back to that. And, you know, a little bit of that has to be shame. We got to start shaming these dudes.
Bring back shame.
You know, just a little bit for doing some of these things because it's becoming, it's just getting out of hand.
Too normalized.
Men and women.
Men and women, for sure. Men and women, for sure. Because
that's all you see. Everyone
women
wants
have
to
a problem
be.
with it too.
They want to be influencers.
Yeah. TikTokers and all that.
Yeah.
Definitely had that conversation.
Man, unfortunately, we did run out of time, guys. It was good to have you guys on. I appreciate you guys.
For having us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
And I really got a pee, so I was like, wrap it up.
You guys got any last words? Anything you want to say? Shout out? Anything?
No.
No.
I do. Okay. I got a lot to say.
Go follow my friends on Instagram, _battle. What's your Instagram? _Morgan _ again. What's your Instagram? Go ahead.
ArmonieJay.
Period. Miss Honey Sums, SUMS. Your Instagram too. It's right here.
Yeah, you
Y'all
guys
better
can
go
see
tap in,
it.
subscribe, all that.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. If you guys are watching this, please like, subscribe, man. Thank you for the love, the hate. It's all support. Shout out to you young ladies for coming through today.
Period.
It was a good one. Can't wait for you guys all to watch this. Yeah, this is Kali the One, Disorderly Conduct. I don't know where y'all are going, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
Oh, goddamn.
Thank
That
you.
was nice.